LDBC. Guys, I'm bringing you this video, okay, and I've seen a multitude of videos on this, and I actually wanted to do my own research on this whole situation. Like I wanted to just read as much as I could, okay? Um, and I found a site where they actually post a lot of pages of this book that she wrote. I mean, and it, when I read, those pages of this particular book that she wrote or they wrote, not okay, Carolyn Bryant, that's the woman on the left, and Emmett Till is the young man on the right. She didn't write this book, but these are things that she said in the book. And I started really, really, like just spinning my wheels in my head, and I started thinking, and I started thinking, and I started processing. And I came to this conclusion. And I'm gonna tell you guys what I honestly believe in my heart happened, okay? When you look at this woman on the left, okay, I won't even say her name because she don't even deserve to have a name, okay? Her, her name, this woman lied on Emmett Till. And, Emmett Till, was lynched and beaten and mutilated to death because she told a lie and she admitted that she lied. So, for those of you, if this isn't your type of video, listen, cut the video off now because I don't have time to go back and forth because on this video, I'm going to either block or just pretty much delete your comments. I'm just saying, okay? So we can't say that, well, we don't know if it's true. No, she said it was true. So please don't come at me with that rhetoric or all this other stuff, and don't come at me saying, Coach, you just race baiting. I don't want to hear that either, okay? Because if I can't talk about an issue, okay, that's dealing, I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about an issue, okay? Because people, we talk about issues all the time with people that look like us. And I'm sorry, if I can't talk about an issue of my own people, then I think I have a problem with that. And this is not, disrespecting anybody, but this is something that I actually want to talk about. That's just the way that is. Um, this woman lied on Emmett Till. Okay, she lied. She admitted it. And you look at this woman's countenance. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This woman is possessed with the devil. Okay, straight up, this woman got a million demonic spirits in her body. You can look at her and tell, man, that this woman is evil. But let me go ahead and spin it another way to you. I'm gonna spin it to you, and I'm gonna tell y'all how this went down. Okay, just by reading the book, and I'm really, really looking into the information. I actually think this is what happened. Okay, so Emmett Till and his buddy, they came into this little store, and they bought their little refreshments or drinks or whatever they were doing. Now I'm not gay, but if you look at Emmett Till, actually don't look like the typical little black boy in that era. He don't. Okay, if you look at his eyes, black people didn't normally have eyes that color. Everybody had the basic dark brown eyes. We had the brown or dark brown skin complexion. So, you can already right now tell that Emmett Till wasn't typical. Okay, he didn't look like the typical black boy at that era. Okay, he wasn't dark skinned. He had a light skin complexion, and his eyes were light. Okay, even in that era, let me tell y'all something. Okay, see. Even in that area, pedophilia was rampant. It was rampant much more then than it is now. Pedophilia was a thing. And it was also, you could also marry somebody, and, you can also marry a 12 and 13-year-old. I mean, honestly, and it was completely illegal. You could do it, okay? Like, here go an example. If you're at a get-together at a family and if some guy, if he see like your 11 or 12-year-old daughter or if she see your little son or 13, 14-year-old boy, you know what? They could actually request and ask the father of that child, I want to marry so and so. It was a common thing back then. And some fathers, they would actually go for that. They would do it to get them out the house. I mean, folks, that's just how it was. That's how it happened. Wasn't no age. Man, it was sick back then. And, you think about it now. But, yeah, that's why, you see some of these older people now that, they're still alive. And then they got these, their husbands are 80 years old, but then they like 60 something. Well, I mean, think about it, okay? Think real hard about it. Or, that they're in the 90s now. I'm sorry. They will be in their 90s and their wives are like 70 something. Well, they were 30 and 40 years old and then they were marrying, 12-year-olds. I mean, that's how the sick society was back then, okay? She saw this young black boy, but, she saw Emmett Till and she looked at him and she was probably thinking, that's a handsome guy. Because let me tell y'all something. Even back in the 50s, white women fantasize about being with black men. And a lot of them, they secretly did it. They secretly did the horizontal poker with black men. I'm trying to tell y'all, this is what they did. But see, I'm going to tell you, Emmett Till, she started asking him a whole lot of questions. Like, well, where you from? I never seen you around this area before. I mean, hey, And she probably asked him something to the extent of, are you married? You got this. Because, see, remember, back then it was common. It was common for kids to actually be married. You can be, she probably asked him. And she probably asked him, hey, have you ever been with a white woman? And I'm trying to tell y'all. And Emmett probably looked at her and said, well, no, ma'am, or something to that extent. No, I don't think so. And, no. And, he probably turned down her advances. I think she advanced at him. I think she actually did. And I think he politely just told her no. And see, with her back then, she was probably considered to be attractive back then. Okay? And she probably had men lined up. Even though she was married, she probably had men lined up trying to get with her. And, you had in that era, wait a minute, this black boy told me no? He literally, I mean, are you serious? He told me no, and so she probably came up with this story because she was upset and pissed off at him because he really didn't want to do nothing with her, didn't want her, and got him lynched. That's the kind of vindictive stuff they did back then. I'm trying to tell you, this is my opinion on what happened. Okay? See, this woman, well, let me tell you something. When you living with demons, and I'm not going to get too spiritually deep in this video because I know that there are a few of y'all, you just can't handle this. When I start really, because if I really, really if I go extremely deep into the spiritual demonic realm, I'm going to lose a lot of y'all. Not subscription-wise, but I'm going to actually lose y'all, like, in, trying to understand where I'm going with this, okay? But I'll tell you this. When you deal with these people, when these people have these demonic spirits all in them, see, they do and say things uncontrollably. And that demon spirit probably been in her for a long time. And I guarantee you, that demon spirit probably talked to her and scared the mess out of her. And see, she had to come clean. It's something about the truth, man. Sometimes the truth just always seemed to come up. I mean, have y'all ever noticed that? Like truth, it just, for some reason, it always comes back to fruition. Oh, this woman's suffering. I can tell you right now, every day she wake up, at this point in age in her life, she's suffering. Oh, she's suffering bad. And her family, they don't tell the location of it. Man, somebody know where she live. I mean, this woman, honestly, if somebody really wanted to find her, they could. But I do think she need to be doing jail time. I think this woman, even at age 82, I think she needs to be doing jail time. I think they need to put her in jail and let her just rot the rest of her life, the rest of her days in jail. Now, I don't care if she's an old lady. I don't care if she's somebody's mama. I just don't care because, see, when you go, I'm going to tell you, this reminds me, and y'all remember, if y'all ever seen this movie, this reminds me of Rosewood. Y'all remember this? I know I remember that movie. When this white woman, she lied on, this boy. Lied on him. And I almost think that I wonder if they created Rosewood based off the Emmett Till story. And I almost want to think they did. I think they did. Okay? But I remember this movie. And this movie kind of, it had me thinking about it. I mean, you guys tell me really what you think, man. I think this woman need to go ahead, and I think they need to put her in jail. I mean, they're arresting other people. They're arresting other people when they finding out they did crimes years and years ago. And they're using all this evidence now, and they going back putting these people in jail. Why she can't go to jail? I mean, really, somebody tell me, why can't she go to jail for lying on this young man? Why? Why? I mean, she told it. She told it 10 years ago. And you mean to say we've known for 10 years that this woman, had this boy killed, and she's still able to walk? She's still able to be free. In my own words, how you going to explain this? I don't think anybody can. I'm done.